Yes, one of my buttons is unbuttoned in the following clips, but seeing how it was the second time that I was doing this video covering the same topics about something that is very annoying, the fact that pharmaceutical companies prove my point beyond any doubt, and that the very drug Devoprox sodium or Depakote that I'm taking is one of many drugs that a big pharmaceutical company has been sued over for off-label promotions, among other things, which means saying that the drug is good for something that isn't officially on the label. So not only do they stack the deck with phony clinical trials to pass the drug through the FDA, what have you, but they also try to give people the drug for things that aren't even officially what the drug is supposed to be used for. I mean, it is so painfully obvious. When you see off-label promotions, it screams at the top of its lungs, if you will, that these pharmaceutical companies are trying to give people drugs for something the drug is not good for. Period. You can try to twist it all you want. You can say if, but, all you want. But the bottom line is, I am right. The Santa Clara County Sheriff Department, the Santa Clara County Mental Health Services, big pharmaceutical companies, psychiatrists, psychologists, all across the world that support mental health, law enforcement, the government, they are fucking extremely wrong. They are greedy. They are godless heathens when you look at their actual philosophy. There's stated philosophy, there's actual philosophy. There's stated use of pharmaceutical drugs. There's actual use. What are they actually useful for? Nothing at all. I can give you better results by getting you to smoke a fucking blunt, every 6 hours. I can give you... Okay, Masons themselves admit that Masonry played an important part in the formation of this nation, the Declaration of Independence, etc., as well as our government and the philosophies that made up this nation, from pragmatism to this modern-day liberalism that you see. To every Mason, wisdom or intelligence, force or strength and harmony or fitness and beauty are the trinity of the attributes of God. This is important for morals and dogma. Why is this important? Because we all know, as I'll definitely prove it in this video, as well as I've overkilled it in the videos in the past, that psychiatry interferes with these things. So psychiatry is a way for the Mason to sabotage the political opposition, among other things. I'm not saying psychiatry's never helped anyone, but I'm saying that the majority of what it does is it's a control mechanism used to sabotage the political opposition. It will cause birth defects and hair loss and other things that will make someone less attractive, and it will confound their speech, make them come off as a bumbling idiot instead of articulate, cogent, and logical. This will reduce their ability to be respectable in the secret society community and in the greater American communities at large, because they will obviously be influenced by Masonic thought. And notice it says, to every Mason, wisdom or intelligence, force or strength, and harmony or fitness and beauty are the trinity of the attributes of God. Okay, keep that in mind. The important manifestations of occultism coincide with the period of the fall of the Templars, since John de Monk or Chapinel, contemporary of the old age of Dante, flourished during the best years of his life at the court of Philippe le Bel. The Roman de la Rose is the epic of old France. It is a profound book under the form of levity, a revelation as learned as that of Apuleius, of the mysteries of occultism. So in the past you'll hear me talk about occultism, mystery schools, and this definitely connects those of you who are in doubt or who don't really understand things, that yes, Masons are interested in the occult, and you cannot be a high-level Mason without understanding many occult principles. And the last but not least, I talk about this a lot, they want to use their intellect to subjugate men. Here, let me... I don't know why I didn't highlight this before. I apologize. gotta dig through this full drawer. Gotta see all I have to do to get. Alright, about the shrewdness of the close dealer, the boldness of the unscrupulous operator, ever by the knaveries of the stock board and the golden. Alright. It says, first I'll read it, I'll show it to you, then I'll get to the Depakote. Alright, to win wealth, to subjugate men by our intellect, the very elements by our audacity, to succeed, to prosper, to thrive. Thus it is according to the general understanding that one fights well the battle of life. Even to succeed in business by that boldness which halts for no risk, that audacity which stakes all upon hazardous chances, by the shrewdness of the close dealer, the boldness of the unscrupulous operator, ever by the knaveries of the stock board and the gold room, to crawl up into place by disreputable means, or the votes of brutal ignorance. These also are deemed to be among the great successes of life. And at the top it says, life is a battle, and to fight that battle heroically and well is the great purpose of every man's existence who is worthy to live and fit to live it all. So I've established in the past Masonry's link with eugenics. I've established in the past Big Pharma's link and psychiatry's links as well. There you have it. One of the most respected Masons of all time, Albert Pike. This was a letter to the Supreme Council of 33rd degree for the Southern jurisdiction of the Scottish Rite. Okay. Pause it if you need to. If you can't read it, if it doesn't come out well, I'll link you to it in my other videos. So we've established how these are important qualities in men, seen as virtues, if you will, and how they are trying to sabotage people using this. Now I'm going to establish that Depakote, excuse me, let me make sure this is covered up right. The top says my name and my address, that's why I have to cover it. It says Depakote sodium. Okay. ER. Damn it, hopefully you can see. I already made this video once, I don't want to make it a third time. The last video I made was 16 minutes. It was stupid little bitch shit. You know, my presentation due to gassing and having my window open all night, freezing, that messed up my presentation. So this shows that there's a conflict of interest with my dad. Okay, this is sent to people who promote the company. You know, Abbott Spine. My dad is a neurosurgeon. They work on the back as well, the spine, obviously. This is the Abbott, and this is what I'll do. Last video I put it on the screen. I'm gonna put the pictures that prove my point that Abbott is in fact the company that makes Depakote, and Devalproic sodium is Depakote. You can Google it, but I'm gonna save you the time by putting the images on the screen. I've already taken the pictures. All right, so now, oh, there's one thing. The side effects. Well, all right. We're gonna go through side effects, and then we're gonna play the clip, and we'll wrap this up. All right, these are the side effects. The highlighted ones affect martial arts, and some of them affect my speech as well. Okay. I'll read them to you in a second. As you can see, there is 4 pages of side effects. I've gone through this before, but the main purpose of this video is to show you that Depakote is a eugenics pill, and that the Freemasons who have the money and the power, who, along with other secret societies and private interest groups, control big corporations, they control the media and the philosophies that are impressed upon this nation, the spiritual bottom-feeding philosophies of materialism or Satanism, criminality, LGBT philosophies, feminism, atheism, and racism, first and foremost. And of course, there's scientific racism, and so on. Confusion, difficult or labored breathing, headache, joint pain, muscle aches and pain, nausea, rapid weight gain, shakiness in the legs, arms, hands, or feet, trembling or shaking of the hands or feet, absence of or decrease in body movement. Blurred vision, change in walking and balance, clumsiness or unsteadiness, degenerative disease of the joint, difficulty with moving, dizziness, faintness, or lightheadedness when getting up from a lying or sitting position suddenly, fast, irregular pounding or racing heartbeat or pulse, lack of coordination, leg cramps, loss of energy or strength, muscle pain or stiffness, muscle tension or tightness, pains in the stomach side or abdomen possibly radiating to the back, shakiness and unsteady walk, slurred speech. Swollen joints, trouble with speaking, uncontrolled movements of the arms and legs, unsteadiness, trembling or other parts, problems with muscle control or coordination. You have a guest here, so I'm going to wrap this up quickly. It's just the things I do. You know, this is Valentine's Day today, and this is what I'm doing. I'm doing a video that I've made before over again because of their gas and forcing me to leave the window open at night, which made me have certain, damn it, see, little things like this, you know. All right, let me play this.
Attention Depakote users. If you used Depakote during pregnancy and your child was born with a birth defect, he or she may be entitled to lifetime medical care. Depakote is a prescription medication used to treat a variety of medical conditions, including epilepsy, seizures, bipolar disorder, and migraine headaches. However, recent clinical studies have found a strong connection between the usage of Depakote during pregnancy and birth defects, including fetal death.
If you took Depakote during your pregnancy and your child was born with a birth defect including cleft palate, cleft lip, facial dysmorphism, heart defect, limb deformity, face deformity, or spina bifida, you may be entitled to a large cash reward.
The manufacturer of Depakote may be responsible for your child's injuries. Don't let them get away with their mistakes.
The Studnicki Law Firm can help.
The mistakes, eh? No, this is very much part of eugenics. It's very much on purpose. I don't think I need to explain how the side effects alone will mess up your beauty. Let me talk about some of them that mess up your beauty, okay? Or that push people away. Blood of the urine, bleeding gums, fever or chills, paranoia, obviously, runny nose, rapidly changing mood, sweatiness, unusual bleeding or bruising, unusual weight gain or loss, changes in patterns and rhythms of speech, cloudy urine, constipation. There's a lot of disgusting things that push people away too. Lip smacking or puckering, loss of bladder control, passing urine more often, restlessness, seeing, hearing, or feeling things that are not there, which they're going to say you're schizophrenic after they caused you to go through those things, and really all you need to do is detox from psych meds, not take more of them. There's a lot of things, diarrhea, uncontrolled chewing movements, belching, rash, hair loss, different things, okay? Push people away. So, yes. I'll have to make another clip, hold on. The fact of the matter is that pharmaceutical companies try to silence things. They don't want people to know that 2012 Pfizer paid $896 million in Prempo settlements, $2.3 billion settlements reported in 2009. I think it was 97 million or so for child experiments in North Africa. In northern Nigeria. And AstraZeneca settled $520 million reported in 2010. Johnson & Johnson settled for $2.2 billion and so on. So pharmaceutical companies have been caught, they've been fined, and they haven't been stopped. And so they don't want to debate me about these things. They know that I'm right. They don't want to explore the secret society connections. It touches on national security because these are the people who, have the intelligence agencies and the government in their pocket. When you look at it, the Johnson and Comey and the different intelligence agency heads and directors are basically politicians, more or less. They're basically political figures that have been selected because of their sympathy toward big business, just like any other political figure in the government. So, I mean, there's no way around it. What they're doing is highly political. There's no way around it. There's a serious conflict of interest with my parents, and their perception of what is going on, or rather, what they state is going on. You know, and Big Pharma is a business. So when you're talking about Pike, morals, and dogma, right? You'll hear a lot of people refer to the Luciferian quote, which, yes, there is a secret doctrine of Freemasonry. It is the Luciferian doctrine. The things that I've read to you alone show some of that philosophy, that, you know, they believe that they're going to use their intellect to subjugate men. The morality of religion is pretty much thrown away. You know, we're going to rip them off. We're going to use the votes of the ignorant people. We're going to control them. We're going to subjugate them with our intellect, using underhanded means and righteous means alike. This kind of checkerboard existence of the universe, light and dark everywhere, including in their philosophy and in their dealings with people and in their subjugation of man using their quote-unquote intellect, but really it is their network and their spies, just like the king had spies. So that pretty much covers everything, I believe. Check the comments if anything I didn't mention from the last video I made that I'm not going to upload because of little stupid things that messed up my appearance. They had to do with gassing and having the window open all night. Keep in mind that I do a lot of research and I do this myself. It's not fair what they're doing to me. It's not fair that they won't debate me. It's not fair that they've resorted to trying to stifle dissent and silence political dissidents instead of addressing their points. They know that anyone with common sense will know that I win the debate. If I was to debate them, for instance, and I just presented this and I didn't even respond to anything they had to say at all, I would have won the debate in the minds of every rational person in society. Only the communities that support them, the Ivy League communities, the different bootlickers who are miseducated to the extreme, to the point where they've been thoroughly brainwashed by quote-unquote higher education, have been trained to turn a blind eye to evil in order to advance their careers and get money. Only in those circles will they pretend, oh, you know, the big pharma guy won. He spoke so eloquently and all this intellectual jargon and, oh, they're so smart. And this guy, he's just has a bachelor's degree and of course he lost and, oh, just stupid. Just fucking stupid. You know, it's like they're fucking you up the ass and some Ivy League expert says, well, no, they're not. And you're supposed to just concede that they're the expert. I mean, that is pretty much what's going on here. The fact that they settle all these cases speaks for themselves. They are thoroughly defined as liars, as scum who put profit over patients, just like Kaiser Hospital. They are thoroughly historically defined that way. And we're not talking settlements 100 years ago. We're talking 2010, 2009, 2012. Okay, they are thoroughly defined as liars, as killers, and to the insightful mind that does his research, his due diligence. The fact of the matter is they are thoroughly defined as eugenicists that side with big business. They are big business that controls the most corrupt government in the world, the United States. Thank you. So the dereliction of duty applies to the military, and they are almost certainly complicit based on the large influx of military personnel into my life, military stickers, military vehicles, what have you. So we go to the next proof.
So what did you say about, what does it sound like to you?
It sounds like I can hear exactly when it hits you, because you'll go from talking completely normal to not being able to breathe, like you're, like something is suffocating you. When it happens, you don't tell me, but I'm asking you in the same time that it's happening, because I can hear that something's wrong.
All right. Just